you're saying let's not confuse. You okay?
I'm confused actually.
Okay.
But I'll tell you later.
You sure?
No, I'm really confused. I don't know if it can be useful for my colleagues, but she said it before. Which is the difference between social reporting in a blog or Twitter? Because now the last trend is that if you go to a conference, every time people are just tweeting, and they do it so fast. So maybe we have two huge difference. Okay, so one thing is just short sentences in Twitter, or maybe a report like that on a blog. Is this the difference? Is this one of the differences?
They are both social reporting. Okay. The places you choose to publish to are up to you and up to your audience. So if your audience is mostly up to your audience.
Okay.
If your audience is mostly on Facebook, you might end up sharing what you're experiencing on Facebook. If it's mostly on Twitter, you might end up sharing it on Twitter. You might use a blog. The reason why we set people up with a blog is because for a lot of people it's the first time they've published something to the internet and it's quite substantial. Okay. And we're trying to encourage people to capture what's being said in a fairly controlled way. But you could, ways in which a social reporter might work is they might shoot a piece of video, as Caroline is doing, put that on YouTube, they might put that on their blog, and they might then use Twitter to say, this is on my blog. Or they might just use Twitter to say, so-and-so has said this. Or here's a link to the website that Steph made. So genuinely, you don't need to worry about which platform you're using. If you just want to social report through Twitter.
But I actually worry because I think that for each tool, for each social media, I have to use a different language, and I'm approaching to different publics.
Yeah.
So that is the thing that I was trying to say before.
Right.
Twitter is something, but Facebook deal with other kind of people. So every time, maybe I need 10 people.
No, you genuinely don't, because if you think I've got 4 audiences and I have to serve them all well, you're going to break yourself. Whereas if you think I'm in this place, I've got my phone with me. Well, what's the easiest thing I can do with my phone? Probably not blog. I can put things on Twitter, so I'm going to tweet. Which means that I have this particular audience on Twitter, which means I'm going to share with them things that will interest that audience. So really what I'm saying about use what you've got available is to not worry about trying to super satisfy everybody. By simply being in a place and sharing what you're learning, you're helping a group of people, and that's good enough. So social reporting is entirely about being relaxed about what you can do and not worrying about what you think you're missing.
I think that Borrowed, for example, did an excellent job. It was maybe the best thing.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, cool.
Maybe better than
so for example, if Borat puts up that blog post, you see it appear on Twitter with the hashtag side places, your social reporting might just be to share that with your Twitter network and say, Borat has done a brilliant job of capturing what's going on here, but you're still sharing what you're learning with your audience. So there's so many different ways of doing it. The most important thing is to not worry about what you can't do.